Okay, so the three main groupings that you'll recognize your friends to be at, not yourself, because you're going to be at the highest one. I'm laughing, but it's true. You will think you're at the highest ones. Only your friends will see the lower stages there in you. Traditional consciousness is the epitome of the 60s, the 50s, with my parents. And it's rules and roles. It's like everybody has a role, and you have to follow the rules for society to function properly. Okay? And so they literally had aphorisms back then to propagate these rules and roles. So I grew up hearing things like women should be barefoot, pregnant, and in the kitchen. Right? Children should be seen and not heard. You know, the man is the provider. You know, his home is his castle. He rules the castle, and that put people in the right roles and gave them rules. Respect your elders. Doesn't matter if they're beating you. Doesn't matter if they're abusive. You still have to respect them, right? And I remember being 12 years old and watching my grandmother yelling at my mother, making her cry, and I yelled at my grandmother to stop hurting my mother, and they both turned on me, my mother included, and I'm going, right? But that my mom was thoroughly indoctrinated, and then my uncle came over, who was 10 years younger than her, and started lecturing me about respecting my elders, and so he's 8 years older than me, and I looked at him and I said, I'll respect my elders when they deserve my respect. And his jaw just dropped, right? So I was demonstrating what would be called modern consciousness, where you think rationally about the world and you question the mythology that you've been born and raised in. So I was using my intellect to rationally think about the world when I was 10 or 12 years old and making decisions about what was right or wrong. I was already pushing against the establishment, right? My parents, and questioning things. And that's what modernism is. And it tends to be individually oriented, and it tends to be achievement oriented. We all want to be the best we can be, the best guitar player, the awesome businessman who makes millions of dollars, and you climb that ladder of success or achievement, and it's really all about you, right? And when I was in academia and I was working with my friends publishing papers, I remember the shock when I'd work intensively for 3 or 4 months and we'd publish a book or a paper together, and we were close, eating pizza, talking at night, in contact all the time, and then that project finished. And so did my relationship, because they were off working on another grant with somebody else. And I'd phone them up trying to get time with them, and they were gone, right? And it's like, damn, I thought we had a friendship. But we had a friendship in that we had a common vision, right? And that was the important part. Because modern consciousness is really about myself. It's not about community. It's about me and my achievements. And that's okay. That's a good stage. The thing about climbing to the top of your ladder and finding out you've climbed up the wrong ladder, that's actually a healthy realization. That means that you've fulfilled that value system and you've seen its limitations. And you look around and you go, there's got to be more. So what comes after modern? Postmodern. Postmodern. Tautology. But it means that you look around in your individuality and you want relationship. You want connection. So we see back when I was, the punk rock scene emerged. They were all rebellious individuals in the same way, right? They all dressed alike, but they all identified in their rebellion. They were rebelling against the same stuff. So they formed their own groups of people, all right? Individuality with your own family. You choose your family of like-minded beings, Okay? And when you get there, you look around at the other groups, and true postmodernity says, and that's okay too. Your value system, even though it's different than mine, if it's working for you and it doesn't mess me up, that's good. And so postmodernism literally starts this embrace of other cultures and other ways of being in the world and says it's okay. Whereas the other ones all think theirs is the only way it should be. Traditional thinks everyone should be like traditional, and modern thinks everyone should be like modern. And postmodern finally says it's okay to be as you are and have the values as long as they don't mess anybody else up.